Being 6 o'clock, I'm going to call the Gilford Gilmanton Joint School Board meeting back to order. I apologize for the confusion for any of you had about the school board start time tonight. At 5:15 we met. We called the meeting to order, did a certificate of posting. Many of you missed that. Then we went into a non-public pursuant to RSA 91-A:3, Roman numeral 2, subset K, to discuss a student tuition contract with our Gilmanton counterparts. That's why we weren't in here when you folks arrived. So it's now 6 o'clock and start our normal meeting. Twice a year we have a joint meeting with our Gilmanton counterparts with the full boards, and this is one of them here tonight. I'm going to start the meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. Everyone can please stand. Flag is over here. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our first order of business is to approve the minutes from the June 11th joint meeting and the September 3rd regular meeting.
I'll make a motion that we approve it.
I'll second.
Are we doing the June?
June.
Let's do June 11th first, please. Ray and Michelle.
Thank you.
Any discussion on these minutes?
On the second to last page, in the financial report section, it talks about the tuition to Hewitt. I think that means the Hewitt, H-U-O-T Center. No. June 11th.
Okay.
I think that should be Hewitt.
Yes.
As in Hewitt Tech.
I also have one on the last page, action item to remove the W from Mello.
Be in minutes.
And the non-public session as well.
So on the second page, second paragraph, that was student scholars and were recognized, correct? We had more than one student scholar.
Correct. Right.
Yes. And if you go to the third page where it's in the middle where it says handbooks, the very last sentence of that paragraph says there are also changes to the criteria for dismissal from NHS. There are also changes to the criteria.
To the criteria.
Without the two,
To add.
To
No,
the-
add to.
oh, add two, sorry, add two before the dot.
Yep.
Okay. Anything else? And look for all those in favor of the minutes from June 11th as amended, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries.
Excuse me, Mr. Chairman. Is your speaker turned on? It's hard to hear over here, that's all.
It's hard to hear here, too.
Thanks, we'll try to speak up, thank you. Looking for a motion for the September 3rd minutes.
So moved.
Second?
I'll second.
Gretchen, second. Any discussion on these minutes?
I have a comment in the public comment on that first thing, I think someone was speaking about the bathrooms. It says non-gender, I think it was supposed to be transgender inclusive bathrooms. That was just.
We'd have to-
quoting verbatim.
Yeah, we have to look at the tape on that, because that's a public comment. Anyone else? I have something that relates to a reference to me and what I said, and it would be on page 2. The only paragraph that's not bulleted, it says right in the middle, it says, Mr. McDonough said that the law states that the child needs to be able to use the bathroom. I don't recall phrasing it that way. I recall saying that our attorney advised that we need to let the student use the bathroom. But I did not make that statement, unless the tape corrects me, but I don't recall making that statement. So if we can get that looked at before we can bring these back for approval. Thank you. So I'm going to shelve these minutes until the next meeting, once those 2 quotes have been confirmed. Okay, that brings us to our first public comment. I'm going to go over how this is going to work tonight. We've got quite a few people here. Can I have a show of hands of those that would like to speak in public comment this evening? Okay, less than I thought. That's good. For planning purposes, I mean. So public comment's going to be limited to residents of Gilford and Gilmanton tonight. Okay? First public comment, because we have a lot to do, I'm going to try to keep it to an hour. So I'm going to do five-minute limits based on the number of hands I just saw. When I raise my hand like this to you, when you're speaking up here, that means I'd like you to start reaching a conclusion to your comments. If you have questions during your comment of the board, if it's a question that can easily be answered by me as the chairman or Kirk as the superintendent or the administrators, we will answer it. If it's a question that is not easily answered, we need to get a consensus or consult somebody on the answer or look into the information. We're going to defer an answer to your question. Any deferred questions, we ask that you submit them in writing via email or by letter to Mr. Beitler, and he will make sure that you get answered. When I identify you, please come to the podium, state your name and your address. Please state your name clearly so that Val can get it into the minutes correctly, and you may need to spell it if it's not a common name. And lastly, I'm going to ask that all your comments are civil and respectful, and you do not identify anybody or point anybody out by name or single anybody out any way. If this gets out of hand, I will close the public comment. I don't want this to turn into a circus tonight. So, that being said, somebody who would like to speak, please. Sir.
I can speak over it.
Alex, can you slide that? Never mind. Thanks.
Hi, my name is Jake Maxwell. I live at 59 Belknap Mountain Road in Gilford. I'm the proud parent of a transgender child, and I'm here to say that I support the school board's new policy, which adheres to the new state law. I also want to encourage the education of our children on these issues in school. Recently, a 3rd and 4th grade class from a different district heard about this issue and decided to discuss the issue of transgender identity in class and to make a lesson on letter writing in class. I would like to read just a few. Dear family, we are sorry for all the hate you have experienced. We believe that anyone can be anything. We know that children learn from adults, and we think that adults in the school should treat others with love and kindness. We are a 3rd grade class, and our school supports individual kids, and the teachers are the best. We have trouble with math, reading, and the school helps us have a growth mindset. We really, really trust our teachers. That is the most important thing. We think that school needs to be a safe place for everyone, no matter if they are a boy or girl or neither. Even if they are a cat or a dog or a snake or a hedgehog. We know that actions matter, and that is why we are writing. You shouldn't feel alone in this. Everybody has the right to be treated with respect. You should be able to do whatever you choose to do in your school, like going to the bathroom if you choose, joining the sports teams you choose, and being called by the name you choose. We send you a whole bunch of hugs and hugs to you and hope the school board makes the right choice. Sincerely, M and E, third graders. Dear friend, I wanted to write to you because you should feel proud and not alone in life. And I also want to say that I think that you are so cool. You probably already know this, but I'm putting it in anyway. You be who you are, anywhere, anytime. I'm sorry that sometimes people are mean to you and sometimes you're different, but I think it's cool, as you can probably notice. I like different people and things. I hope you have a good life. Love and hope and grace. Dear friend, I wanted to write to you about how you can be who you are. School should be a safe place for all. You should be able to trust your teacher and community and the people who are around you. People will love you when you are a boy or a girl. Your family loves you no matter what, because everyone deserves to be loved in the world. I'm sorry that you are having people not be nice to you. Eventually people will be kind and loving to you. Since kids learn from adults, adults need to be loving and caring and kind. School is a place where people should be kind and loving to people, boy or girl. People should support you and your family instead of not being nice. If being a girl feels normal and good to you, you should be a girl. Our actions matter. Every little thing counts. Never stop believing in yourself, no matter how hard the challenges are. Life can be challenging, but you can get through the challenges someday. Love, Sabrina, third grade. Dear family, I'm writing to support the rights of all students in the schools and community, no matter what identity they may be. You shouldn't feel alone because we are writing this letter to support you, and you should feel open to expressing yourself in any way you want. Sincerely, Rowan and Julian, fourth grade. Dear family, I believe that you and all other families with transgender kids at any age should not be threatened, made fun of, or harmed in any way. I believe that everyone should have the right to be who they want to be. I have written to the school board to let them know what I think. Love, Nora. And I have one more that I don't have a hard copy, but I'm going to read it off my phone. Okay. Dear Gilford School Board, I think it is just plain unfair that you are even voting on this. Transgender girls should have the rights to be girls, and transgender boys, boys. Children learn from adults, so adults should be a good example of how to treat others with respect and kindness. Kids should feel supported by the adults in their community. Students need to be able to trust their teachers. Schools need to be a safe place, a place for all. You can be who you are, and someone shouldn't change with that. Put yourself in their shoes. You have to use bathrooms and play on sports teams opposite of your gender. You'd feel so alone. Sincerely, a fourth grader. These are all from third and fourth graders. This was a class that did this during class and they talked about it, which I thought was so powerful. So in conclusion, we do not need to teach our children to agree with everyone. We do, however, need to teach them not to fear difference and rather to engage with it, to listen and to learn from it. Our children's world is going to be much different than ours, and we need to give them the tools to navigate it and to make it a better one than we have it now. Thank you.
Croc TV.